Thank you, Chairman, and welcome, Dr. Monahan. It is a privilege to be here for the Subcommittee on Oversight's first hearing in the 118th Congress. Oversight of our government should be a bipartisan objective. And while there is a lot of political theater happening in other committees, I am hopeful that we will lead by example and in doing the important work in a bipartisan way. Our constituents sent us to Congress to work on behalf of the American people and ensure that taxpayer dollars are spent appropriately and effectively. Holding our institutions accountable when they fall short should be a bipartisan objective. And with that said, I look forward to collaborating with my colleagues and the chairman on this very important work. For today's hearing, we turn our attention to the Office of the Attending Physician, which is led by Dr. Brian Monahan. It is really good to see you again, Doctor. Dr. Monahan has occupied this role since January of 2009, serving admirably under both Democratic and Republican majorities. He is certified by the American Board of Internal Medicine and internal medicine, hematology, and medical oncology, and holds the rank of Rear Admiral in the United States Navy. He has served as a Surgeon General Specialty Leader and as Training Program Director of Hematology and Medical Oncology at the National Naval Medical Center National Capital Consortium. Dr. Monahan has also served as Chairman and Professor of Medicine and Pathology at the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences in Maryland. Dr. Monahan is also notable for the dedicated and compassionate care that he provides to members of the House and the Senate. Dr. Monahan, in my opinion, you are not some paper pusher hiding behind a fancy title. You are hands-on, accessible, and personable, and knowing each member and their spouses by their first name, traveling with us, visiting us when we are sick, and making yourself available at any time to discuss even minor issues. It's very appreciative. Dr. Monahan spent this past weekend, as a matter of fact, in Florida, providing care and services to my Republican colleagues during their annual retreat. And it's in such a small minority, it is really important to keep you healthy during this time. In addition to the enormous responsibility of caring for every member of the House, Dr. Monahan and his team are also charged with the care of each senator, Supreme Court justice, congressional staff, and the millions of visitors that come to our campus every year. And over the past 3 years, Dr. Monahan has had the challenging task of guiding the House and other institutions at the heart of our democracy through a dangerous, unprecedented, and rapidly changing public health crisis. It is important to overstate the critical role Dr. Monahan and his staff played in keeping those of us who work in the House safe, not just members, but the bill clerks, maintenance workers, and staff that are the true lifeblood of this institution. Healthy and able to continue to do our work on behalf of the American people was his primary duty. Unlike the Senate, the House was able to continue proposing, debating, and voting on legislation during the early days of the pandemic, thanks in part to the use of proxy voting, the e-hopper, and remote proceedings. These were very challenging times, and with Dr. Monahan's guidance and direction, the House was able to continue to legislate on behalf of the American people. Dr. Monahan, please extend my sincere gratitude to your team for a job well done. It is still, as members, we should never miss an opportunity to examine our responses to crisis and identify lessons learned. And as a former 911 dispatcher, I know how important it is for our leaders to look at a path forward, learning from past experiences, especially when it comes to public health and safety. Today's hearing provides a forum in which we can do just that. It is my expectation that through Dr. Monahan's testimony and answers to today's questions, we can identify ways to better support you. Additionally, given that this is a new subcommittee, today's hearing offers us a chance to learn about the office structure and operations while also laying the foundation for a collaborative and communicative oversight relationship. Finally, the Office of the Attending Physician has proactively recommended ways that the office can be updated and better prepare for challenges ahead. And I look forward, Mr. Chairman, to learning about these recommendations and the ideas that are brought forward. And with that, I yield back to the chair.